Hey everybody! So, episode 6 of Teen Wolf Season 4 aired this week, and this episode was chock full of death. Meaning, there was a really high body count this episode. Including one of our new evil favorite characters. Well, I enjoyed his character. But, I'm getting off track here. Let's start with the beginning. 4 weeks ago, where Kate is crashing in a car. She finds a cassette tape. Who uses cassette tape still? I mean, I apparently that's a thing. I don't know. Is that coming back? I don't know. Well, it says play me. She plays it. Starts talking about the Hale family and how they taught their children that were born werewolves how to control themselves, and how, just the Hale's approach to teaching control. And so that's where we get where she gets the idea to go to Derek and all, and apparently rewind his clock and do all that crap to him and all that. Right after that, we see a scene where Kate is just annihilating with the berserkers a bunch of the assassins that the benefactor has sent after her. She's questioning them, losing her temper, just going all crazy on them. And it's great. I'm loving all the Kate scenes, especially we're finally getting more. It's been a few episodes since we've seen her. So that's cool. We then go back to the present, and we see Violet getting taken away by Deputy Parrish and Sheriff Stilinski. She then sees Deputy Parrish's badge, his name tag, and she's like, Jordan Parrish, and then she starts plotting because she knows he's on the Deadpool and all that. There's a whole confrontational eyeing, evil eyes stare off between Violet and Scott. Some other things that happen right after that, we see Derek, Stiles, and Deaton trying to get the Wolfsbane out of Brett's system. And Derek just cannot get him under control. Derek's power is waning. He just doesn't have the strength he used to have. And so Peter, when Brett pops up, Peter has to punch him out, unconscious. And then they have to cut his chest, and this yellow smoke comes out the Wolfsbane, whatever. And then he's Brett does that whole mantra that apparently it's his pack. It's their motto or whatever. I don't know. It's 3 things cannot long be hidden: the sun, the moon, the truth. And apparently he is a part of Satoni's pack. And Satoni, if y'all remember from season 3B, she was that werewolf that was in the whole scene, the back in the flashback with Kira's mom, with the Nogitsune and all that. She was that werewolf chick lady in there. So she's pretty old herself, which is interesting. And she's a bitten werewolf as well. And there are a lot of Deaton scenes this episode. Bravo. I've been missing the Deaton scenes. Deaton is awesome. He needs to have more scenes. When they're looking for evidence to try and find Garrett and all that stuff, and more about Violet, of course they find that thermocut wire thing around her neck and all that. But what they don't find, because Scott goes and removes it, Scott finds all the money that Garrett and Violet have made from the benefactor in Garrett's locker, and he takes it, and he doesn't do anything with it. He just takes it as evidence or whatever to help him do whatever. I don't know what Scott was thinking. We see Garrett hit Liam with his car when he's out running. He then stabs Liam with his blade tipped with that Wolfsbane shit that he doped up Brett with. Then he throws him down a well and calls up Scott and says, you can't get him back unless you give me my money back, and Violet. And so Scott tries to go along with the plan. He goes in the car and he's about to help Garrett get Violet back, and Kate and the Berserkers have gotten to them first. Scott finds his dad unconscious. The car had been overturned, and Sheriff Stilinski pulling him out and all that, and he's like, they're still here. the Berserkers come out. Garrett's like, oh, he's just like, come on, you're not so bad, or you're not so big, or whatever. And Garrett gets stabbed in the back, and that is the end of Garrett. I loved that character, even though he was evil. I'm going to miss him. He was a great character. Just like I don't love him as much as I love the character Matt, played by Stephen Lunsford, but just saying, just putting that out there. I think they should bring Matt back. Hint, hint. Hear me, Jeff Davis. Somehow bring Matt back. Make that a thing. I don't know. So after he dies, Scott is stabbed as well through the back by the Berserker, and Deaton has to pull that thing out of Scott, the weapon claw thingy stab. What couldn't even tell exactly what it was. It was pretty cool though. And so that he ends up using that weapon to find Kate's scent, and so Scott and Chris Argent go off to find Kate and the Berserkers, and hopefully Violet, because Kate has taken Violet to question her about all the benefactor crap and all that craziness. Well, they find her, and she's dead, but not before they have to have this whole face-off with Kate, and Kate's like, you shouldn't have come, and I wanted to wait, and all this, and it's really interesting. I did not expect this out of Kate. The Berserkers and all are fighting. They're all fighting, and Kate stops the Berserkers from killing Chris. It's really rare with Kate for her to show that she cares about her brother. You can tell in her own twisted sort of way. But they then, after Kate leaves and all that, Scott just thinks he's not going to find Liam in time. Liam has been climbing up that well over and over. He's climbing up the second time after he's had like this flashback of Scott trying to give him advice about controlling himself. And he climbs and he's about to fall again, but then he does his roar, and Scott hears him, goes and gets him, yay, and pulls him out right before he falls. And they have this epic, just sweet hug moment. And it's not like a guy-on-guy thing. I have nothing against that. But it was like a big brother, little brother moment. Like, I'm loving their characters and the way they interact. They're really, they click really well. Now, what's been going on with Lydia and Styles the whole episode? Lydia is trying to figure out the next cipher key. She goes with Styles to the sheriff's office and station, whatever. They find Deputy Parrish. They show him he's on the Deadpool, and he sees the numbers, and he's like, I'm worth $5. And they're like, 5 million. He's like, maybe I should kill myself. I only make $40,000 a year. And I'm like, oh my God. Seriously, this guy, I love Ryan Kelly that's playing Parrish. He is amazing. I want to know more about this character now. I don't want to wait till the end of the season. I need to know, especially what he is. So basically, with his help, they go to Eichen House and have to talk to Meredith to try and figure out the next cipher key. Well, they come across that guy that works there, the prick, y'all know. He was an ass to Coach and all that stuff, and just Styles, and he's like, I'm not going to let you in. And then Parrish brings out about him, his alcohol limit being above average, what it's supposed to be when he's driving or whatever, and talking about maybe letting it slide. They come to an arrangement type deal, and Scott's like, Styles is like, I'm going to keep you. It was the coolest thing. I ship Starish. That's a proper ship name. That's Starish. Me and my friend Katie came up with that. I love them. They had a good scene. That was a great scene. Anyways, back to the point. They go in to question Meredith. Meredith is not being very helpful. She even says that the benefactor does not want them to know what the other part of the list is. She screams and makes Lydia's ears bleed. And apparently that's a thing. So they don't get anything. Meredith starts freaking out and they have to leave. Some other things that happen are really sad. I was actually really upset about that. When I'm going to get to that in a second because I'm gonna miss this character. when Stiles and Lydia leave, you see them again starting to, I think they're back at Stiles' house, or I can't remember which house they were at, but they were talking about trying to figure out the next cipher key, and Stiles is like, what if it's someone that's, Banshees predict death, what if it's someone that's not dead yet, but is going to be? And so Lydia closes her eyes and starts typing, and of course, I think y'all all predicted what was the next one was going to be. It's Derek. But I tell you what, I don't think Derek's going to die this season. I think his werewolf side is probably going to die. He might become a werewolf again one day. Maybe Scott will bite him or something. But that's the next cipher key. And one thing, I don't know if everybody has studied that list, but one thing I noticed, and I think this is, I don't know if it might be how Malia is going to find out her parentage. It did not say Malia Tate on the list. It said Malia Hale. Now, the other thing on the list that we read was Meredith's name, and there was no price next to it. So that is what set off alarms in Lydia's head. They called, and apparently Meredith has killed herself. I do not believe Meredith actually killed herself. I could be wrong, but I really just don't think she killed herself. I'm hoping not, but I mean, I know she's dead. They showed her body, but I'm really bummed about that. Now, something I saved for last because, yes, this was something that was happening throughout the whole episode. This is something I'm going to do from now on anyway. I'm just going to kind of focus on characters at different points in these recaps. It's easier to talk about what they've each gone throughout the episode. So, Derek and Malia scenes. Hale bonding time. Hale family bonding time, which neither of them realize is a thing. Malia's in class, gets questioned by her teacher where Stiles and everybody are, and she's like, says she doesn't know, and then Derek starts like whispering to her. Derek creeps in the school. He does that. It's just Derek, you know. And he starts saying, Malia. And she's like, makes this face like, what in the hell? She starts to leave. And this is funny. The teacher's like, do you need to be excused? And Malia gives a face like, really? I'm walking out the door. I mean, you need to ask that. I'm really, really loving Malia more and more each episode. But basically, Derek cannot track Brett's pack because his senses are bad and all that. So he teaches Malia how to track someone. They go to try and find the spot. They don't find it. Then Malia's like, maybe we should think like Stiles. And Derek's like a hyperactive spaz. And she's like, no, like a detective. So Derek comes up and remembers Satoni and them were Buddhists. So they come up with where to find Buddhists, where they would be. They find them. They find the whole pack has been like slaughtered. They didn't show Satoni, so I'm assuming she's still alive somewhere. Someone we do find there that's alive, just hurt, is Brayden. And apparently that pack was poisoned. So that was interesting. It was really weird to see that whole pack just dead like that. That was a really big body count. Now, probably one of the big scene stealers, stealers. These two are scene stealers, and them in the same scene just makes me so happy. Peter and Kate. Peter finds Kate in like a sewer system or something, and the Berserkers are just kind of standing by. Peter comes up and he tries to make a deal with her, and she wants control over herself, and he wants power. Of course Peter wants power. That's all he ever wants. He's always up to some shit. And so they make a deal where Peter's going to help her get control and she's going to help him out to get power somehow. Which is interesting. It's weird seeing them conspire together considering Peter was the one who like ripped her throat open in season 1 and I thought he completely hated her. But he's like, if it benefits him, he doesn't care. So, whatever, that's just Peter's thing. They're both evil, deliciously evil. I love them both. Peter more, of course, because Peter. Something else I want to touch on. I really have to touch on this. Everything seems to be about the money this season, I mean. Everything is linking back to money. Everybody's having money problems. The McCalls, the Stalinskys, a ton of different things people are having money problems, and everything is linked to money. And so that's going to be something that it's all about the money this season. I think it's all about the money. And when Scott and Stiles are sitting there with that money, I think they're both thinking about how their family are both having money problems, and they're trying to decide what to do. I don't know what they're going to do. What do y'all think they're going to do? Please let me know in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.